Hello, my gorgeous Gemini. Welcome back to Fifi and Gigi's tarot readings. I hope you're all feeling absolutely amazing. Now, Gemini, I have 3 decks here that I would like to use for you for this week's reading. We've got What's the Tea? So this is more of a visual for me to kind of see what's going on between you and your person. And then we'll move on to the Pulp Tarot, and the clarifying deck will be the Witch's Tarot. So this week, let's talk about the current energies, right, between you and your person, right? And that is completely regardless of the type of connection you currently have. I actually usually find out pretty early with the tarot what type of connection do the majority have with their person. So let's see, what current energies are there for Gemini, please, and the person on their mind, the person of interest. Is there also any energies that we can confirm for you, or any energies that you're unaware of? Let's all bring it to light for you, Gemini. Now, I'll be looking, of course, at both energies, but there will be an optional extended reading. Remember, it is optional, of course. And during that optional extended reading, of course, I want to focus on what's going to happen next. So based on what we see here as the current energies, what is going to happen next for you and your person? That's right. So based on what we see here with these energies, the current energies, it may even show possible future energies, although I want to focus on the current energies. The optional extended reading, I really want to focus on what's going to happen next. Any events, any milestones, any interaction, or actions between the both of you. So over at the extended reading, I'm still going to be looking at both your energies. I just want to see what's going to happen in the foreseeable future. All right, so if you are interested in the extended reading, I'll be using 2 different decks. They're already lined up behind me, ready to use. And to view the extended reading, the link to the extended reading is in the description box below, Gemini. It is the very first link underneath all of the yellow stars. I have clearly labeled it, and it says link to the extended love reading. All right, so here we go. I do want to see the bottom of the deck. All right, someone may be kind of, a bit at the moment in neck deep, we could say, knee deep into some legal issues, court, judges, immigration, lawyers. I mean, listen, it could even be spousal support, child support, separation, divorce, for example. It doesn't have to be that big. It could also be perhaps we're trying to evade the law as well. We're trying to get away with something. That could also mean, just like unpaid parking fines, back taxes here and all this. So there's obviously something here. But, I always see justice here, obviously, Libra energy. So we're talking about, maybe is this... It's probably asking you that question. Is this connection with this person that you are thinking about, is it fair? Is it equal give and take? Is it balanced here as well? Okay, very interesting, because I did mention child services, and we do have child services here. It says kids at risk of being taken, or is about to reporting something, neglect, abuse, worst case scenario, of course. That will not be for everyone, of course. So we only take what resonates. We only take what we know is for us. So let's take our 5 cards. All right, so we've got haunted here, memories, flashbacks, trauma, and side effects. So it's pretty evident here. It could be you, it could be the both of you, it could be your person. You will know your role here. Obviously, there is someone here that keeps thinking about the past, about what could have been, what should have been, and no longer is. Where did I go wrong? Where did we go wrong, for example? So that's already telling me perhaps we are not talking to each other. Yeah, they may be taking screenshots of you, getting evidence, proof, facts, for example. Maybe, looking at old photos, old text messages, or trying to, if you are easily accessible online, of course, that's if you are, they probably want to take photos to make sure you're 100% single, or maybe there's a favorite photo or a video, for example. Yeah, okay. I have a feeling here, Gemini, that you may have rejected this person, or at least they feel that you have rejected them. There's this element of no, not now, not ever, after what you did, after what happened here. Because I'm really kind of picking up, even if it was like literal legal issues, I do feel that you're asking yourself, was this actually fair? Is this what I really deserved? Okay, interesting. So that can go with legal issues as well. Someone could be broke as Very Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy. So loss of income, loss of money, loss of resources, and we're not being very resourceful here as well. Ooh, so this could also be if this person, for example, and I hope it didn't happen, if they asked you for money, you lent them money and they never returned it. They said, I'm good for it, but they don't have any money here as well. Yeah, we've got also the bankrupt card. So, oh, bonus message. What do we have? Also giving money. That's very interesting. The whole thing here is about legalities and money. I've noticed that. So I feel like this person, they may actually tell you that I don't have money, but they do. Or at one point, it's like they pretended that they did have the money, that they had more money. And kind of like their status was more than what it actually was. Some of you may have given this person money, or on the flip side, they may actually return the money to you. So that's actually good though. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of really feeling, if that's not affecting you, this is what's happening in your person's life right now. The whole issue with money, with status, stability, their job, career, whatever it is. Okay, it's not really, it's tough. It's not looking good. So let's look with the tarot. We'll do two more, the current energies, and then we're going to take this straight away over to the extended. Let's see. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am seeing some initials. I'm seeing R, the number 8. I'm seeing S. Also Z. Interesting. That won't be for everyone, of course. 5 of Cups. Look at that. So we are clearly not together. We are probably not even talking, and there's probably some ill feelings between the both of you. This is Scorpio energy, of course. Your person can be any star sign, any age and any gender, but this is a card of loss, of mourning, the death of the relationship, right? Love lost, right? The circumstances that actually led to this breakup, this downfall, where your person now is left alone, feeling emotionally embarrassed, guilty, ashamed of what could have been, could have, should have, would have, right? Ooh. This is some key words are like crying over spilt milk and all this, but they're also saying, stop crying, you got to get up. If you want to fix it, you can go to the 6 of Cups, which is reconciliation, but I don't know. I kind of feel some of you, if it's not like you literally rejected them, you just pulled back your energy and they felt that. So that's actually quite interesting. They've learned their lesson. Interesting because the Page of Pentacles, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy, this is of course the student card, right? So we could literally have children that are going to graduate or are graduating with flying colors, with honors, like valedictorian and all that. But this is obviously the student of life. So I can already see here that your person has learned their lesson. They really have. But is it too late? Apparently it looks like it is. I feel like a lot of you do have ill feelings towards this person. You don't wish harm on them, but you're not looking at them in the favorable light. Now, usually the Page of Pentacles is a messenger with a small, solid offer. They would absolutely love to see you face to face. Yeah, I told you they would love to see you face to face because we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. Oh, they may actually send you a pretty sad message. Actually, I'm really getting that about how much they're lonely, how much they miss you. Let's split the deck. Yeah, you're definitely there's gonna be some kind of message here. Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Of course, it's like this offer. It's like this one opportunity for you to hear and see for yourself what this person is really all about. Now, what they did to you, how they handled things, especially in their personal life, is there regret? Yes, or else that 5 of Cups would not have come up. And yes, they did learn their lesson. And yes, with the Lovers, very strong Gemini energy, yes, they have really good feelings towards you. They just didn't show it. I feel like for you, Gemini, for you, it's all about communication, but you also want to see it through people's actions. And the love is there, but there's something about this person where they had some pretty nasty, very bad distractions here. All right, let's get to the main ones. Yeah, see, 5 of Wands. Perhaps you were too different. Perhaps you were worlds apart. We were incompatible. Too many cooks spoil the broth. The 5 of Wands is, of course, Leo energy. And we have already another 5 here. And the 5s are kind of like miniature versions of the Tower. They do mean challenges, transitions, but also regret here as well. And changes. but we couldn't have been disagreeing about everything. It could have been very one-sided here. And it still is, that's the thing, but it's catching up to your person. They're just silently mourning over what they lost, which is you. They've learned their lesson, but they're just sitting there with the regret. Perhaps they were mean to you, right? They were judgy. So it's like, why on earth would I do that when really Gemini would have probably helped me financially, but also morally, ethically, emotionally, and all this. They're probably taking screenshots of you because the Magician is Gemini. There is Virgo, but primarily we do have Gemini here. So they could be taking screenshots. I think here that they are emotionally entertaining the thought that they would like to have a new start with you. But the problem is maybe on their end, there was lies and there was manipulation. Maybe they easily got offended or easily angry, more in a way to kind of manipulate the conversation to make you feel bad. So that's already telling me that this person could be a bit of a, I'm not going to say full-blown narcissist, maybe a bit of a manipulator here as well. Gaslighter. They just know how to manipulate conversations. But the problem is for them is that you're a Gemini and you are listed in the top 4 as the most intelligent star sign. So you can read between the lines. You're already 5 steps, 2 to 5 steps ahead. You already know what they're doing. So they kind of look kind of like a fool, in other words. We've got more pages here. The Page of Cups. Ooh. This is very interesting. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. They may have sent you a small message. For some of you in the past, you probably replied and then you disappeared, or you blocked them, or you didn't respond. If that hasn't happened, I do feel that this is a surprise incoming message. Usually it does come here with the element of an apology, a budding romance. Can we start from the ground up? They've got more feelings for you versus the feelings that you have for them. I'm not saying you don't have feelings for them, but their feelings are like, 10, 12 fold. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's say if you left them on red, or if, you pulled back your energy, they're just going to increase their persistence to the Emperor, which is Aries energy, the divine masculine, no matter their gender here. Now, the Emperor is the king of all kings, and the Emperor literally, they make pre-planned moves here. They want to get their life back on track. They want to get their finances back on track. They want to be the person they know that you deserve. They know here, Gemini, that you have very high expectations, and there's nothing wrong with that. Keep having those, right? They just want to make sure they meet them up here, right? So they don't want to feel like they're below you. There's something here also with their ego. They could be quite stubborn, very like my way or the highway. And I feel like asking your person, how's that working out for you? Because, when no one's looking, you're acting all tough and all this, but when no one's looking, you're alone with the 5 of Cups. So they will be making some pretty big, bold moves towards you here, but they will be very persistent here. The 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Very interesting. I mean, Capricorn energy, I got 2 messages. Your person could be learning to be more conservative with their money, saving money. It's like they're in quicksand, but they're still holding on to that money. It's like, I can't afford to lose those $4, right? But how does the 4 of Pentacles pertain to romance reading? Simple. This person refuses to let you go. They would love to resume planning their life with you, right? So literally that money could represent Gemini. It's like, okay, I'm down in the dumps, but it's not that Gemini can save me, but it's more like I want Gemini still part of my life, but I want to actually appear like the Emperor here. Bonus message here is the World. For some of you, it could be a long distance connection. Doesn't not have to be, of course. I just feel like you feel like your worlds apart. Maybe it just feels like we're too different, age-wise, height-wise, even if it's like, cultural background. There's something about the both of you where maybe one is more healthy, the other one has very nasty vices, for example. We have Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius energy here. So far, I'm not seeing a lot of action on your part, Gemini. If anything, this is all on your person, which is really interesting. I just see that you showed up here, and so did you right there. You're on the receiving end of a lot of things, but I'm not really seeing a lot of action on your part. So let's do this 2 more times. I mean, for them, money couldn't have been lost or stolen. They're really trying to hold on to it here, especially if it's going towards anything legal. Maybe people are trying to take money from them. There's something here that is very unstable in terms of their career, their finances, their stability. Oof. But when it comes to you, they're holding on to you for your dear life. I would just be very wary, Gemini. I'm going to be very honest with you because I win nothing by lying, right? If this person were to ask you for money, I don't really feel for the vast majority they would. But let's just say if you happen to be the minority and they do ask you for money, I would be very wary. That's all. I would be wary. What's under giving money? Yeah, we've got those legal issues. This person wants you back. Yeah, just I would be very wary, only because you may not see the money for a long time, right? So just be careful. If you know that it definitely pertains to you, just be wary, think twice, maybe put them on a payment plan, but just be careful. We've got 2. Last one. So that's not going to be for everyone though. But, you know, there's an element of this person really thinking, what have I done? I've really screwed things up. This time I've really blown it. Yeah, see, we've got the moon. Pisces, Cancer energy, even their intuition is saying, yeah, you really screwed up. You didn't listen to us. You went with your ego and look where you are now. So even though the moon on its own is a card of beauty, humility, and grace, it is also a card speaking really loudly of your person's internal fears, internal anxieties. And for you, Gemini, I see here that there is something about this person that might emotionally trigger you. It's like fear of the future. It's like, what do you want? Why are you calling me now? Why won't you leave me alone? Why are you pestering me or persisting that you want to be back in my life? The thing is, I feel like this person, okay, several things. Yes, they may have had secrets. They may have had maybe withholding important information from you. In rare circumstances, it could have been a secret third party. And that probably really pissed you off, because we've got the 5 of Wands twice. Now, your person is already anticipating. That's what they're afraid of. Remember, that's fear of the future and internal fears and anxieties. They're probably really concerned here that if they send, you know, the Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles to you, they're going to bite their head off, right? You're going to, you know, probably in capital letters tell them to F off, which I know you wouldn't do because you're very mentally and emotionally mature here. But they're afraid here that you're still very upset with them. But they're waiting. They're going to do it. Something's going to happen. There's a reason why you're watching this reading. It is timeless. The 3 of Wands, Aries energy. Something big is coming in, and it's your person. King of Cups. Look at that. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. Hand on their heart, expressing their love to you, that they want a brand new beginning. The Ace of Wands. They're seeing a golden opportunity to start fresh, to start anew. Yeah, the 2 of Wands. This is more Aries energy. So regardless of geographical location, this might actually show to me that for some of you, you're going to meet this person in the middle, right? It's like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but first let's meet in the middle. Oh, I think you're curious. Doesn't mean you love this person or you care about them. Maybe you do, but I feel, you know, Gemini, you're just a naturally curious person. Let's clarify that 5 of Wands. Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles. My singles card, Virgo energy. It's pre-Empress energy. So everything that you have done has led you to this moment, right? And you are on the right path. So I'm really happy to clarify that for you if any of you do feel lost here. But yeah, you prefer to be alone than in bad company. So both of you are single. Both of you kind of ended up on your own, right? With the difference here that you're manifesting a lot of really good things here. But yeah, we do have that 4 of Cups, Cancer energy. Sometimes you can't help but feel a little bit melancholic over this person, about what could have been, what should have been, but no longer is, thanks to them, right? Some of you might be feeling, Gemini, a little bit bored, maybe a little bit apathetic, a little bit what's the point, right? Even if this person were to message you, which I'm really seeing that they will, a lot of you are thinking, okay, but what's the point? Why are you back now? You know, I'm getting tired of this merry-go-round. And I really feel a lot of you need an emotional and mental break. Let's talk about this Page of Cups. I mean, I feel like they are really missing you. What's part of the message here is that they would like to heal this. Now, obviously, they will use their own personal variation of how they're going to say it, but that 4 of Swords, which is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, that's what happens after the 3 of Swords, which we know is sorrow and heartbreak. This is all about rest, recovery, recuperation, right? It's meditating and planning on our next thoughts, our next movement, what we're going to offer here. So I feel, yeah, we've got some 4s, you know, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 4 of Swords. They're all about planning. That's about our stability, our platform. We want to feel safe and secure. So I do see some of you may not respond to this person straight away. It's something like you kind of need to wrap your head around, or at least it's something like, it's like, okay, they're messaging me after they made me feel really, really bad, right? And I kind of feel this person was very one-sided. It was very unfair. And relationships are not like that. Maybe they don't have enough experience in relationships. No matter how young or how old they are, there has to be compromise. And you're all about being flexible and compromising. But if this person is so one-sided, then what's the point? You know, it almost feels like in the past this was a business transaction, not an actual romance. Now they're learning. It's like, inject more feelings. Let's talk about the Emperor. Yeah, see, inject more feelings. 3 of Cups. Cancer energy. So they may want to reopen up lines of communication anywhere within 3 months, anytime within 3 months. It could even happen next week or even in a month and a half or 2 months, right? For some of you, yes, okay, maybe there was a third party. It's not always fair to say when we see a third party. Like, that's not always the case. For some of you, because we are seeing the moon, maybe there was a third party, right? But what I'm really picking up is that they want to open up lines of communication. There is that element here of, I want to fix this. Can we reconcile, right? I'm going to, it's a very fun sociable card. I'm going out, Gemini, can you be my +1? I've already organized this. They may even organize some surprises here. Or if there's like beautiful events like, birthdays, weddings, graduations, or all that, or it's just stuff like that. They may invite you also to be their +1. It's like anything to be by your side, anything to kind of earn their keep, right? The 4 of Pentacles is the 7 of Cups, Scorpio energy. So at the moment, don't be surprised, Gemini, if you start to feel a little bit emotionally spread out, a bit confused, a bit overwhelmed, right? It's about choices. Right? Maybe you have a choice with this person and maybe in the near future with someone else, right? For example, it is a card of fantasy, daydreaming and illusions, but it's also telling you, well, that's just illusions. We obviously need to ground ourselves and make a decision. How much do you want this person back into your life, right? After when all is said and done and they say sorry, they express their regret, which I see is genuine. Is that enough for you? Let's get a bonus message. Yeah, see, we have the World coming up twice. This will all depend. It's a bit yes and no, because the World can actually say you're going to reject this person. You don't want that Ace of Wands. You're going to end this chapter. In other words, it's like, listen, when all is said and done, I really don't want this, right? Or some of you might say, let's reopen this chapter, right? Let's start all over again. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles, hard at work, Virgo energy. So if some of you actually do want to resume with this person, even as friends, it's going to take work. You already know that, Gemini, and you're no stranger to hard work. But your person must and need to understand here that it's going to take a lot of work here, especially for you to not look at them and see all the times that they hurt you, that they lied to you, that they withheld information. Especially, there is something about, I'm telling you right now, there is something about their work status and their finances where they must have lied to you. That, we already saw it so much. Like, I have X amount of money when they actually don't, or the reverse, I don't have any money, but they actually did. So, there's something here where they were actually acting quite selfish here with their money. Perhaps I was splashing it on something or someone else. And now they're realizing this is the big one. It's like, well, at the end of the day, who's alone? I'm alone. And Gemini now is probably moving on without me, right? So that's why I feel like, yes, you have feelings, but their feelings for you are like tenfold, 21 times more, stronger for you. So the energies right now, I can see that your person wants to reach out to you. I see that it is, they're on their way, but the energy is uncertain at the moment. It's uncertain only because some of you, you might be really upset. How can we unsee and unfeel everything that this person did to us, all the hurt and all the unnecessary pain? Because you're thriving here, you're independent. Like I say, it's better to be alone than in bad company. So I do see that there will be a reconciliation, but will it be long term? It's all up in the air here at the moment. So let's check out your optional extended reading, because here I'm focusing on more the current energies, right? But over at the extended reading with the 2 different decks I'll be using, they're behind me ready to use. I really want to dig deep. What's going to happen next? And that may offer you some more clarity if you want some, right? I want to see any milestones, any actions, any turn of events. What is going to happen? Is it going to be a short term? Is it going to be a long term reunion? Have they really changed? Let's figure it out. What's going to happen next? If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. It's going to be a continuation of this reading. So I'm just going to get straight into it. If this is where we depart, I do wish you the very best though. And power to you. You've done absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, you're on the right path here. But if you're curious and if you're kind of nosy like I am, I want to see what's going to happen next. So I'll see you on the other side. I thank you for your time. Power to you and have a great week ahead. Bye, Gemini.